All right. So we should be back. And now we got the video. So hopefully everybody can hear me and see me. So just Braun or Rob, if you'd post in there, ask the people if they can hear us. So the release of Mad Max has been pushed back to 2015. This was unveiled last year at E3. Mad Max was originally planned to come out this year on PC, PS3, 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. But after a year of not hearing much about the Avalanche Studios developed title, Warner Brothers released a new teaser trailer, which we just saw, and I will play one more time. The showcase the 2015 release window. So this game's been delayed. There's really not much more to say about it. It's it's been pushed back. So we'll give you guys more details when it gets closer to release. All right.
Okay. One of the big hot topics this past week has been I guess, prior little known landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico, where a whole bunch of Microsoft folks, filmmakers, and probably, who knows, passersby and police and birds and crows and rats and stuff basically descended on this landfill, and they went and they did the big dig. They dug for the ET cartridges that were allegedly buried here some, I don't know, 30 years ago or whatever it was. A little bit of history on this whole scenario, if you're not aware. Basically, if you haven't been watching any social media, then you're probably unaware of this. But back in the day when the Atari 2600 was out, the movie E.T. came out. So they spent an extremely short amount of time, basically less than 2 months, and they programmed this horrible, horrible game for E.T. And they they manufactured more copies of this game than there were actual consoles. By almost like there was something like 8 million Atari consoles, which I guess includes the Atari 2600, and then was that Sears that had that VCS? Do you guys remember that? By almost there was something like Sears VCS. Anyway, so there's something like 8 million of those, and they did something like 12. They made 12 million of these ET cartridges. Why? I have no idea. I guess maybe they thought that there would be that many more console sales. However, as you can see with the math there's an overage of cartridges by 50%. And then the game didn't do very well. It got panned by the critics, panned by the people that were actually buying games. And then they had a huge glut of these things. They didn't know what to do with them, so they did what came instinctively, and they buried them. They swept them under the rug, essentially, at Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Yeah.
So this was to be one of the first, what would they call that? It's that, like, built for Xbox TV series.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Anyway, it's going to be their first produced show, and I was kind of wondering if it was going to be Geraldo going with Al Capone's vault from back in the day. You know, was there going to be anything there? And I really don't know how much time they spent digging this past Saturday. Actually, this was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, yesterday. I don't know how much time they spent digging out there, but it seems like they found them pretty darn quick, which is really impressive. I would think that they wouldn't know where the heck these things were, and they'd have to dig all over the place. But they dug these things up, and they posted them all over social media. And I think we can safely say that Atari cartridges do not decompose very well. Yeah. They're not biodegradable. There's some pictures that were posted, like Major Nelson was holding some cartridges, and various people. And these things, granted, they were a little dirty, they were a little dusty, but I bet you could just plug them straight in. And I was really surprised that they're like not smashed or anything, like pancaked. Although no, some of them are kind of crushed, but some actually do look okay. And it's kind of a blast from the past just looking at some of these photos because it reminds me of what those boxes used to look like. Making me kind of misty.
I remember
Anyway.
playing this game. It cracks me up. I'm watching the video of it, just remembering, and I still don't know what the whole point of it was because I was so young when I played it.
Oh, yeah. I remember playing it as well. I remember there was like the ET, and then there was some dude in a trench coat, right?
Yeah.
Some dude in a trench coat walking around, and you'd fall into these holes, and
Yeah.
they just, it really surprised me that it took them just a couple of weeks to make this thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd
I
have to-
guess. What's that?
I'd have to ask Democulus because I think I sent him a picture of the ET2600 in its box and saying, "Hey, do you want me to get this for you?" Because it was at like some thrift shop or something like that here in Ohio, and I think they wanted like $12 for it or something like that.
What?
Yeah. So
That'd have been worth $12 though.
I know that's. I sent him a message. I'm like, "Do you want me to get this to you and send it to you?" But I think he already has it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
And now they just dug up a couple million of them.
yeah. So if you did have one and it was rare and it was worth $1,000, now it's worth nothing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nothing. So, but sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, and so there's some reports from the dig site, and they can say this has go. So they found some initial ones over there. They pulled up a box, and then they go, how many more there are there? We just don't know yet. But at this point, we can safely report that the long buried cartridges are actually 100% there. Lots of boxes is how it was described. So I guess if the tweets and Facebook posts and news reports on the various blog sites isn't enough for you, this will be an actual TV program, I guess, or style program is what you can call it. It'll be out on the Xbox Live service at some point. So, it's kind of interesting. And that's behind us.
Somebody asked if it was 1080p.
Actually, what were those things like? 60p, 48p.
It was high quality, man.
Yeah,
All right.
it was awesome back in the day. That's for sure.
All right, Braun.
So everybody's here. Yeah, everybody here that's watching us and listening to us on Twitch will be happy to know that Twitch is the #1 site for live streaming video content in the U.S. So according to the video solutions company Quilt, the company's data shows Twitch leading by a large margin.
Yeah.
It's holding 43.6% of all live streaming viewership, while WWE, which is wrestling, for those that don't know, is the closest competitor with 17.7%. ESPN only manages like 6.3%. So, and you got other ones like Ustream has 10.9, MLB Baseball is 7.2. Although I would say MLB Baseball, yours would be a little higher if you weren't so expensive and you didn't have blackouts. But that's just me. And ESPN, if you didn't have 2-minute commercials for 15 seconds of video.
I got a question about this though.
Mm-hmm.
A live streaming site. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'm like, where's Netflix on this list? But it's live streaming. Okay.
Yep.
And I was kind of wondering the same thing, but for YouTube, because YouTube has live streaming. Granted, very little. I mean, I would think that they would have more than NBC News or CNN. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's not. I
think
mean, well,
most YouTube,
there's
I don't think there's much that's live on there though.
there's a little bit, but you have to be like a certain subscriber and stuff like that. It's just you just can't compete with Twitch. More people are watching because it's gaming related, in my opinion. I mean, so
And isn't because I'm looking at the list. So Justin TV's at 1.2. Isn't Twitch and Justin TV the same?
yes, but Justin TV is not like I guess you could do gaming stuff, but it's not all gaming stuff. At Justin TV and Ustream would be what I would consider like competitors of each other. I think it's
live
just
YouTubes, right?
yeah, and live YouTube, the live to YouTube streaming. But it's just the game. It's because I mean we're not even just doing gaming here; we're doing our show. But it's literally coming out here and watching people play games. It's massive. So, the people come out and we mentioned Darkness 420 a couple times. He just became a Twitch partner. He's had so many people watching his stream over the last couple weeks, or last month. He's worked really hard and finally become a partner with them. So, I mean, it's pretty massive. So, I say congrats. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Good news.
All right.
Yeah. What's next?
Dust Force. Janitors assemble! Despite a delay in launching on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita back in February, Dust Force is now available on the Xbox 360. For $10, Xbox players can sweep, brush, mop, and clean like a ninja as they make their way through a 2D platformer's colorful worlds using acrobatic prowess and martial arts to defeat dirt. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a game I had never heard of. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, by the way, this came out for 360. So if you're a 360 gamer looking for something new, you can try Dust Force for $10. But that's it.
Yeah. Good to know. I couldn't sleep at night if I didn't know that.
All right, Rob. How about this? Was
All
huge news this weekend.
Oh, the story that I'm gonna
Yes.
talk about here. Yeah. So this is something that came out not too long ago, about a day ago or so, and a Chilean retailer listed the Mass Effect trilogy for PS4 and Xbox One. So let's see. There's a Chilean retailer, Zmart Games. They've listed the trilogy for PS4 and Xbox One. Release dates and prices are missing, so I guess we don't know on those. Although on their site, customers can sign up to be notified when it becomes available. This is something that has been, retailers have let slip all sorts of information in the past. So, a good portion of that has been true. So, looks like we quite possibly might be having some Mass Effect coming to next gen. And I would hope getting that whole, remastered everything done like they did for Tomb Raider. That'd be pretty sweet.
So, Brun, you've played Mass Effect 1 and 2. Did you ever get into 3 yet?
Yeah, I got really far into 3 and had to start over. So,
Okay.
I haven't beat it yet. That was my one thing. I haven't beaten it yet. I do want to.
Okay, so would you buy this trilogy after you get an Xbox One, which I'm sure someday you'll have one, after you get an Xbox One and you become a gold member again, would you buy this and replay all 3 games again?
No.
Rob, have you played any of the Mass Effect games?
I've played 3. I don't think I've played the first 2.
Oh. Ooh.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
I will say if I never played any of them or played just some of 3 or just some of 1 or something like that, I would buy this and play through all 3 of them. But seeing that I only have 1 left and I have all my game saves, maybe have all my game saves, I don't know. If I lose all my Mass Effect's game saves, I'm going to be irate. But, if I didn't have all that stuff already and just have to play the 3rd one to get it over with, I that's the reason why I said no. But.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I loved this series, but I just want Mass Effect 4 on Xbox One. Let's move on.
Yep.
I could not sit and play. It's too much gaming to play all 3 of those. It's too many hours. And I don't think, even like the Tomb Raider, I enjoyed it. I only bought the new version of Xbox One because it was half priced, and I just couldn't. I wouldn't do this. It's cool to see it for anybody that might not have done it.
Oh, I lost Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Oops! I asked the guys in our group if that are watching if they would if they'd play this again. So let us know in the
Hmm.
chat. I'm curious. All right.
So, okay. So,
Yeah.
Plants vs. Zombie Garden Warfare was published by EA. Now, EA has a thing that they do in a lot of their games. Some people like it, some people don't. Which is, hey, we'll let you spend real money to basically sidetrack anything that you have to do to earn stuff, and basically get, jump to the front of the line or skip ahead or anything like that. So, in games like Tiger Woods, you could buy like the best golf clubs, and Battlefield, you could unlock all your kits and stuff like that. You could get the best weapons. And here in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, microtransactions are coming. So, in-game currency is earned through regular play and can be spent on upgrade packs, which unlock extra content for players populating the game's war zones. However, those that have tired from the grind will soon have the option. Many mobile games offer spend real money to save some time on earning coins. EA's recent post revealed plans to implement the microtransactions format into Garden Warfare starting next week. So, and this was published 6 hours ago, or probably a little bit longer than that now. I've had it open for a while, 8 hours ago. So that's kind of what you're going to get. It's the same thing that EA's done on a lot of their things. It's kind of like, oh, you don't want to play for 8 hours to earn enough of this, to unlock this, to get this, then just give us $2.99 and you can have it. And some people don't like it. Some people do. And most people that don't like it are the people that's played so much where they've unlocked it on their own. And they're like, hey, this new person that just started playing 3 minutes ago has all the stuff have, and I've played for 30 hours. So,
or those that like me that know that they'll get addicted to that. There's something about this one, man. It's like you buy these packs of cards, and you get all these. It's a random unlock. It's almost like that Mass Effect where you can buy the kits.
Yeah.
Spectre kits. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
But there's all these booster packs, and they're all going to cost. They all have a different coinage. So yeah, you could just be like, ooh, let me unlock some of these super ones. You could easily drop a bunch of money on just unlocking some of that stuff. Oh man, I could see myself just putting tons of money into it, because it's like opening those packs and seeing what you get. It's kind of like addicting.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3 would probably be a better example out of all of them. I completely forgot about the Spectre packs and
I
stuff.
probably doubled my money, if not more. I probably spent more on Spectre packs than I did on the actual. Man, I got into that. Just boom, boom, boom. We just keep buying more. It's like, oh no. So, all right.
Last story for community.
Last story.
Yep.
So, you can look at the image we got on the screen, but we got some data from the Entertainment Software Association that suggests that nearly 2 out of 3 Americans, which that's 59%, play games. So, one of you guys out there is a non-believer. So, that's a couple of you people out in our room right now are not playing games. How dare you? I doubt that. But anyways, that's the ESA data for 2014. There's a ton more numbers, but I'm not going to go through the report. But for example, 68% of respondents reported that they play games on consoles, making them the most played dedicated gaming device. Smartphones are catching up. The ESA data reports 53% of Americans play games on their smartphones, which is an increase of 22% since 2012. According to the ESA, 95% of parents pay attention to the content of the game their children play. That's garbage. That's a lie. I'll say that right now. 95% of people do not pay attention to the content. But anyways, only 56% of parents found video games to be a positive part of their child's life. So that may not be too big of an issue, as the average gamer is 31 years old and has been playing games for 14 years. So that's kind of interesting. But they say an average of 2 gamers in each There are an average of 2 gamers in each game-playing U.S. household. So, and then the average U.S. household owns at least one dedicated game console, PC, or smartphone. So, interesting.
Oh, my house blow that statistic away.
Yeah, mine too. They didn't ask me. I would throw it all out of whack.
Yeah.
Because my whole
3X.
house has got gamers. I'd have 5 gamers in my household with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consoles, an iPad, a Kindle Fire, a couple cell phones, 3 DSs,
Oh,
PCs. Yeah, so
I'd have to jot all mine down. We'd have at least 15 devices that probably count into this.
yeah.
Oh. Cool.
So, all right, that is it. So we jump in.
Real quick. I put in here, somebody was saying that they haven't played Mass Effect in our chat. I think it was Loki.
Yes.
Might have mentioned it. And I put it in there, but it's like I can type something, but then I can say something. And Mass Effect, even though I haven't completed the 3rd game, I was so close to beating it, and I really want to go back and play it. One of the best trilogies of the entire generation last year. So that's across everything. So 360, PlayStation 3, PC, everything. And I, it could probably be up there as the number 1 trilogy, but I'm such a huge Halo fan. I think the Halo games and stuff like that are there. And what are some of the other trilogies that we could? Gears trilogy, and then you have what's the one on
Halo?
What's the one on PlayStation? Uncharted. 1, 2, and 3, right?
But see, the thing about Mass Effect though is it's unlike. I mean, Gears. And
It's a trilogy.
They have stories, but and Uncharted's better because it's an adventure game, so there's a better story. Gears has a story, and they did a pretty good job for a shooter. They had, but
they tied them
Mass
together.
Effect is an RPG shooter, space adventure epic. I mean, it's I was not into those types of games, and that thing just once I got it figured out, it took me a while to figure out. In fact, I think I had bought the game, and then I got rid of it because I couldn't figure out how to play it, and then finally someone was telling me, and then Mass Effect 2 came out, and it looks so good. I'm like, so I went back to Mass Effect. I'd rented it. I got stuck again. I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do in the game. Then I finally asked somebody, and they're like, "Oh, here's how you do this or you do that." And once I got like some of the basics to the game, oh man, I fell in love with that franchise. So I want more. I want the next Mass Effect. So anybody that's not played it, absolutely get this trilogy if it does in fact come out to be true. If it doesn't, this would be worth buying on the 360 and just spending some time with your 360. It's a fantastic series of games.
Yep. So now we can continue. Sorry.
All right. So join us on Facebook. Just look for This Xbox Life. You can email us if you got anything to say. Contact at thisxboxlife.com. You can also use that to send videos to me to get included in the show, which some of you have done. Twitter, we are on Twitter as well, and of course we also tweet as soon as we broadcast. I know you guys get a voicemail, or an email once we broadcast, but it looks like it's late. So if you follow us on Twitter, I believe it tweets out right away as soon as we start. So you'll know right. I know some of you today were saying I'm 30 minutes late because I just got the email. So if you follow us on Twitter, you should be able to know sooner. If you want to get your voice into the show, ask us a question, shoot us a voicemail on our website, click the box on the right, and just leave us a voicemail. Okay, so we've got some question. We got a question here that came in.
Yep.
And I'm going to go through this real quick. So think about your answers to this, guys. He's got a couple questions. So this is from Boondock Saint. He says, "Hey guys, going to share some thoughts with you. Hopefully to hear your take on them. First, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get annoyed by all these sites and podcasts reporting the NPD numbers. on how the PS4 is outselling the Xbox One, but they neglect to mention that the PS4 is being sold in more territories than the Xbox One. I'm pretty sure the numbers would be way different if both were available to the same amount of territories. And these same sites and podcasts are calling for Xbox One to press the panic button and cut the price and cut the Kinect. But I feel like Microsoft shouldn't do either. They're selling well, it's just that these people focusing too much on the NPD numbers. To me, this is a console boxing match. Each round starts and ends at E3. We all know Sony won round 1. For Microsoft to win round 2, they need games. New first-party IP exclusives, just a bunch of games. Man, also, they don't need a price cut, but they just need to justify the $100 more for the Kinect. And finally, I would like to end this email with 3 quick E3 predictions. 1, Resident Evil 7, like you guys mentioned on a previous show. Left 4 Dead 3, Xbox One will finally get free games for gold. First pair of games are going to be July 1st, Rise, and July 16th, Peggle 2. Thanks. So, what do you guys think? I think this kind of goes back our initial talk earlier. Same thing, the 1080p, the NPD numbers, all giving negative connotations towards Microsoft. We know now they're going to start releasing the new territories. I think Japan's going to get the console in, September?
Yep.
Yep. But I don't think they're going to sell much there anyways. They didn't sell many in the 360, so Microsoft's not worried about that. But they are going to expand other markets this summer, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think if they announce DX12 and a whole bunch of games, do you think that'll kind of help with this?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's too late?
Yeah. Well, one thing I was going to say is, at this point, I really wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, DX12 comes out and let's say doubles the performance of the Xbox. The media is just going to slam Microsoft because you'd have this console now, it works great, it can do 1080p all day long. But why didn't Microsoft do it at the beginning? They needed this patch, to do them. It's just they're just going to spin it so negatively anyway. It's just ridiculous. That's my take on it.
Well, the thing is if they do bring it out and it does increase the performance or whatever, and it's free, and it's not like you have to go buy another Xbox One to do so, I think it's no harm, no foul. It's not like they're selling bad. They're just not selling as much as those guys. But, NPD numbers, it's, I guess, what people try to do to verify or validate that they're winning or something like that. So, but I don't think they need to press the panic button. It wouldn't be too bad to have a $50 price cut. Because at that point, I think the Xbox One is cheaper than the PlayStation 4. Because with Kinect, because a lot of people now, due to Twitch that we just talked about, doing so well, everybody that owns a PlayStation 4 is looking for that camera, which is an inferior camera, and it's $60. So now their console's $460 because everybody wants to go get that camera. Well, with 360, with the Xbox One, camera's there. Don't cut it out. Knock it down to $449. Now you're cheaper than those guys. And you do all this stuff to increase your performance. Now all of a sudden you're the better buy, and you're outperforming. So with everything else that you have, like the cloud-based stuff and Xbox Live, but maybe your price cut to Xbox Live would be cool, or something where you're gonna
Xbox Live for free. Wouldn't that be an interesting change? Where Sony starts charging for it, and now Microsoft says, "Nah, it's free," which is not going to happen. It's a pipe.
And I've always came to. I know I don't have Xbox Live Gold right now, but I'm not. I'm one of those people like, hey, I will pay for it, and we've kind of always had that stance because you get what you pay for. So, but an Xbox Live is not PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus is not the same thing as Xbox Live in my book. That's an add-on. So, but.
I think for a lot of people, Xbox Live is just one of those things that you pay for and you really don't give it a second thought. It's sort of like you just buy it, you put your code in, and then you just do what you were doing.
Yeah,
it's almost like a utility for those of us that have Xboxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really an add-on. It's a must.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to go back to what I'm about with the price drop, I really don't feel that a price drop is really going to do much. Because let's say if they drop it by $50, is that really going to sway people all that much? Because
It also kind of shows defeat in a way.
It-
You got
oh.
to be careful about that.
Yeah. I was just saying because it's more perception of like, everybody wants a price drop here. Hey, we'll give you $50. Now all of a sudden we're cheaper than, if you want, and then they have all the, it's so many twists like, oh, here's bullet points. So, you can stream to Twitch. You can stream to Twitch. You can have video streaming to Twitch. You can't unless you buy the $60 camera. Well, ours is built in, and now we're $449 and they're $460. The only way to do it is if they would do that and be like, hey, look, now we're cheaper and better than they are. So, but it's all perception, I guess.
Yes.
And again, it goes back to they're doing great. Microsoft Xbox One is selling bucket loads over what the 360 did at this time. I mean, this is success. I mean, the Xbox One is being successful. Just Sony is being a bit more. So it depends. It's like I think I said this last week or 2 weeks ago. It really depends on what Microsoft's going to look at. Are they going to jump into the bandwagon or the hype? Do they want to silence the internet and try to put some positive spin in that? Or are they looking at going, it doesn't matter what the internet says because we are selling a lot, we are successful, we're making money, we're doing good, we're continuing to sell good. And, if that, I mean, as long as they're profitable and successful, that's all that really matters. I just wish they'd do something to try to counteract all the negativity going towards them. But it just depends on what they look at or what they feel is important.
Yep.
So, all right.
Okay.
So,
What?
new releases. This
Well,
is
New
quick.
releases. All right, for Xbox One, this week we have nothing. And then for Xbox 360, we have, let's pull this up, in Arcade Defense Technica.
Gotcha.
What? Technica?
No, it's Technica. You're right.
Okay. And that is all.
Right.
Another light week.
Another light week. Yep. We're good. We should.
Yeah.
It might stay light till like September.
Yeah.
So, and remember to purchase all your video games at Amazon.com using our affiliate link to support the show.
And your toilet mugs.
And your toilet mugs. Yeah, for those that are late to the party, woo! Yeah, look at that. That's my mug, baby. Woohoo! You can get them on Amazon. Nothing like a toilet bowl mug.
Nice.
So, all right. I think that's it. If you guys watch us please on iTunes, please rate us 5 stars. And with that, I am Mark, aka Wingman 709. I'm taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar on Xbox Live. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you all next week.
And I'm Brun, BJ Swick 33. Have a good one.